Diamonds dangling, bag full of money we strangling. Hate me, fry me, bake me, try me, all the above cause you can't get in. I don't want no problem, because me professional. Make you shake your cats, thank you. Haters take it personal.
Like a Canada tight heads out now talk. Oh, let's both not my money next. Oh, such.
All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE. Welcome to another episode of Drazcore and Friends. Yay! Drazcore and Friends. But as normal, we got Drazcore. What's up, Drazcore?
Hey guys, how's it going?
And then we got Jupiter.
Yep, no duplicates here.
No duplicates of Jupiter tonight. So Dan is in between homes. That sounds bad. I shouldn't use that line. That sounds like he's homeless at the time, but he's moving.
I mean,
currently.
He did sell a home, and I'm not sure he bought a home yet.
He did.
So...
He did. He definitely bought a home. And
Okay.
now I think he sold his home. I'm not really sure if he sold it. I don't know. I don't know if he's putting it on the market or what's going on. I don't even know because like KC's this weekend, so big event in Kansas City happening. And you guys, what are they doing? DT? Are they doing sealed? What's going on in the Kansas City? Who knows? Who's in the wherewithal? Because I'm kind of am, but kind of not because I tuned out after I realized I had stuff and things going on this weekend. So. What do we know about the Kansas City?
Well, I know there's... Go ahead, Jupiter.
No, go ahead. I was gonna say I know that they got some sweet prize support.
They do. I know that.
I did see that.
Yeah, I keep seeing like awesome kits for the people playing. I see the trophies, like lots of really cool things going on. They did a really good job of at least being enticing, right? Like if it wasn't a 12-hour drive for me, I would totally go. But
I totally wanted to do like trophies for keyforge Live. I don't know why we didn't, but I guess we knew.
Oh, the mats were cool.
The mats were cool, but I thought like because what was it, Sky Jedi? I think maybe somebody released like the 3D printed trophies that they had created or whatever, and I'm like, those are really cool. Like but it was like too late. I know that was a big piece of it. Like it was just too late to actually get them. They wouldn't have been produced in time to give them out. So I know that was a big deal.
Right.
So
yeah, to be fair, keyforge Live came together really fast. Like the timeline was pretty short, and like you guys did pretty well for what you did. So I don't think you have to sweat that. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next year. But Kansas City is going to be a lot of fun. If you guys go, let us know. Obviously, how you do in the Discord. I'm curious for everybody going. We're rooting for Dan, but I don't even know if he's going now. So
he's trying to be there. Yeah. So.
I'm pretty sure Z was on tab to go there. Right?
I think you're right. Z is going.
Yeah, and X-Ray I think is going to go with him.
X-Ray was in between going.
Okay,
but if Z's going, X-Ray is going.
Yeah, I was gonna say if Z's going, he'll definitely
be there. But this week we want to go over something not a little different. But this is Drazcore's idea. So, Drazcore, I'm going to let you kind of pitch me what we're going over this week.
All right. So, one of the things that I've always enjoyed when I open a deck is scanning down the list and seeing a lot of the same name of something, a multiple of some card. And I immediately, like, my eyes, if there's a lot of them, my eyes will jump from whatever card I'm reading, and it'll go straight to... oh, there's 4 of whatever it is, right? And sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it's like, uh-oh. But it always makes for something interesting, to me at least.
4 Dexters, great.
Yeah, right? So I don't know. That's like a fun part of opening decks to me. So I was curious what your guys' thoughts were when you guys open decks and see multiples.
It depends. Again, it depends on the multiple. This game is a lot of it depends on, right? Because 4 Dexters, I'm just like, oh, burn it with fire. Like, just don't even.
But 4 Dust Pixies now we're
4
talking
Dust Pixies is a totally different story, right? That's the other end of the spectrum.
I think it's kind of I think it's kind of interesting that like when we're talking about multiples, right? Like so, like when you think of multiples, like I'm like usually I'm not a big fan of having too many multiples, but then again I think about He Who Tempestuously Jokes About Nothing, and it's like 3 Hunting Witches, 2 Dust Pixies, 2 Nature's Calls. There's a lot of multiples in that. And like it's
But
pretty damn good.
They're all multiples you want, though.
Right. And it's like the trick is like at what point do multiples hit diminishing returns, right? Like I could have 2 Mark of Disses and be absolutely happy, but if I get to like 3 or 4, it kind of becomes 2 points of damage, and it loses the full effect of what a Mark of Dis really does for me, right? So
I was just
like
trying to think. There is a deck where I have where it's like it has 2. Is it Doorstep to Heaven that I have? I have a triple Doorstep to Heaven deck, and it's like
Nice.
3 is just too many.
3 might be too many for that one.
Because
It's
a lot
fun,
of
though.
the times it is fun, but a lot of the times like you end up, and if it's a card like that, you know, like you end up. I look at my hand, and it's like, oh man, I got 2 of them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you don't get that full value out of them. So spacing them is really tough, and there's no way to archive in the deck. So you're just stuck at 1 turn playing 2, getting your 1 Amber and bringing them back down to 5. So there's definitely some cards do have that diminishing return. And I
They
think
do, but
without
they're-
a way
you
to
know, I think-
archive that's one of them.
Right. I mean, Doorstep to Heaven is such a powerful card that I'd risk taking more than fewer there, right? And I think there's a bunch of cards like that are just that good. But then I think there's other cards that get better as you have more and more of them, right?
Yeah,
So
Chronophage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. I mean,
Well-
so he doesn't really compound, except
No.
that you're more likely to get him, and he's a strong card, right? And if they kill 1, you still got another. So
Right.
so it's good in that fashion. But I think there's other ones out there that really compound with each other. That having 1 is decent, having 2 gets better, and if you've got a whole ton, like you're in good shape. Something like an Ed-Eye or something, where having 1 being able to archive just 1 card, like maybe you don't have a ton of ways to protect him. You know, it's a good card, but it's not a crazy good card in that deck right there. But if you got 4 of them suddenly, and you're archiving a ton of stuff, and they're compounding key cost adds, and it suddenly gets real interesting.
The biggest thing about Eddie is that he's got a secondary ability, right? So no
Mhm.
matter what you do with him, so he's got you get to archive a card, which is great. Like archiving a card is always awesome because it gives you card advantage. But then he's got that secondary, like, oh well, how +1 to each key cost, which is again awesome. So like, I don't know if there's like, if I had 12 Eddies, I don't know if I'm disappointed ever. Like, I don't think Eddie has a diminishing return. Just
Right, he gets
because he's
stronger.
always like, he's just,
Yeah.
well, not only that, it's just always, archive a card,
Right.
archive a card. So I get 3 of them, right? Well, I'm going to go
Mhm.
Logos, and I'm just going to archive my hand. Your turn, new cards, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So I don't know if he has a diminishing return.
No, and I think so if you have 1, you play him out, your opponent's key costs go up by 1, right? And now if you play a second, you archive a second card, but now your opponent's key costs are +4. You play a third one, now they're +9, right? So it's I don't know, it scales real nicely to have a lot in your deck.
So I'm trying to think of like,
I don't think your scaling was absolutely correct in that aspect, because like if
Was
they
it
don't
not?
kill the Ed-Eyes,
Sure.
it's actually exponential, right? And if you're saying like 1 then kill and 1 and then kill and 1 then kill, then yeah, you're right. But like the real threat with an Eddie being stacked like that is the fact that you're going from 1 extra for a key with 1 Eddie, then you play your second Eddie with the other Eddie still out. Now you're going up to 4.
Right.
And then when you play your third Eddie, now you're up to 9. Like that's a pretty crazy curve, and especially if you have ways to protect them and keep them on the board, like Caruso's and things like that. But anyway,
Yes.
I'm trying to
Yes.
think.
I agree.
There's a deck that I have, and I think I played it against. I might have played against you, Drazcore. What's the dude from MM that every time you draw a card, you get to also? Is it draw a card, archive a card?
Oh, Kronos.
Chronos, yes. Doesn't it have
Yeah.
like triple or quadruple Chronos?
That could be good.
Yeah, I
That
played
could be real
the
good.
deck against. I'm pretty sure I played it against you.
It might have
And-
been. This
yeah.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
And it's not rated very highly, but just the fact that you're able to go through your deck and fish for answers makes it like ridiculously dumb. Because I think every turn, and you were killing Chronoses too, but every turn I was still able to draw a couple cards, archive a couple cards, work my way around. So when you did have something I had to deal with, I was totally able to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some cards we got that you think, like, one of the biggest cards, I think, I always think the more I have, the better it is. And I think a card that definitely 110% does have a diminishing return eventually is Exhume. What are your guys' thoughts on that one?
It depends on the creature suite that's with it, right? Like if you have 4 exhumes and you don't have good targets, like it sucks. But if you have 4 exhumes and you have great targets, it's great. Like I think that's like subject to the deck that it's in. It's like, and it's like you can fall into the trap of thinking that any card in multiple is good or bad just because. But in reality, like unless it's like a Dust Pixie, right? Because Dust Pixie is just giving you 2. That's like just flat value, right? Like so you're getting crazy amount of value off it. So, but even like too many Dust Pixies in an Infernus meta is pretty bad. Like so, like there's always a point of diminishing returns subject to like what's being played and how it's being played, right? Like you can't just make a blanket statement on this because it's not going to give a good answer, and there's always going to be somebody that comes up with the other theory.
Sure. So. I always think like a lot of those theories are always like kind of weirdly like best case scenario type deals. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid on that.
They can be, right? Like, I think there's ones that you get multiple of that tend to be stronger, but if other things in the deck don't go that way, then maybe it's not good, right? Even if you, I don't know, like a real popular multiple is Grey Rider, right? 1 Grey Rider is cool. 2, hey, maybe you can fight Reap for a whole ton of Ember. But the difference there is, do you have enough other cards around them to make that happen often enough?
I have a deck with 4 Grey Riders.
Clear. Ooh, there you go. Nice.
It's really dumb.
Yeah.
It is super dumb. Especially if it's like turn 2 and your opponent did not play a creature turn 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You just go to town.
He's like, what does he get? He ends up getting his 5 or something like that. It might even be 4.
I think it's 5, yeah.
Yeah, but it gets silly because it's just like, yeah, and you messed up. And with 4 of them, you do get a crazy amount of value.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
other than the Grey Rider, you still have to have something to finish because Grey Riders aren't big enough to actually stick to the board usually, right? Like people are going to be able to kill those pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then you're also hoping that the board is cleared when you hit to it, which you should still be able to do. But I think that again, that's Christmas Land. Like we call that when I used to play Magic, we called that Christmas Land. And like I think in Keyforge, there's a lot of Christmas Land, like where people are just like, well, if I have these certain things, then my deck has to be good. But that's not always true.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a ton where you're talking like Christmas Land. Like if I do this and then I do this and then I do this and then I do this, I win. It's like, yeah, but all of that has to happen in that order, and if it doesn't, it's what's plan B when none of that comes to fruition. Well, I really don't have one. Well,
you know what the best combos entail? 2 cards.
2 cards. No, 2 cards.
If it's more than 2 cards, you're probably fishing.
Right. So,
it's probably tricky.
What else do we got here? What are you guys? I mean, are you Drazkor? You put this on here, and I just read it.
Yep.
Do you buy decks with multiples on the secondary market?
I do.
Okay. What are you looking like? What is the multiples you're looking for? I'm curious.
So it's interesting. It's sort of like just like I was saying with opening decks, right? I don't necessarily go out and say, let me search for 4 of something. Though sometimes I do. But if I'm searching for something else, it will catch my eye, right? So there's one deck, sort of maybe in advance of this, thinking about this episode, that I was like, ooh, I haven't really played this deck much. I got to play it. So the deck is Explosion, North Valley's Trooper. It's a 4 Bonithing deck with 2 Baldric the Bolds, 2 Theros-Centurions. And I guess 2 Burning Glares. Actually, didn't realize that. But 2 Lieutenant Governor. So it's got a whole bunch of multiples. But the 4 Bonithings really jumped out at me. And I bought this one online. I feel like I bought this from MedApps. It's not like the best deck in the world by any means, but it's a lot of fun to mess around with and try to say, I'm going to try to set up some bonusing craziness, right? I'm going to try to make those Baldricks real useful. So yes, because like there's other things I like in this deck, right? But because it had the multiples, that got me to the point where I pulled the trigger on it.
So, like, you're saying that, like, when you think that multiples are a buying point for you,
They can be.
They can be. Well, I guess they can be. Yeah, anything can be.
It can be, but it definitely catches my eye.
Dave,
right? It'll make me stare at a deck a lot longer.
So why didn't you bid on my my double Ungus deck that Julie won?
I think the bidding started high.
$50.
Yeah. I did see that. That was cool. Right.
That's actually a good one. Like it was a pretty, but it's at a good place. It's in Maryland.
I think a lot of people do that. I mean, look at Dave, who bids on anything with 5 of anything.
That's true. He does collect
5 of
stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, 5. I know he does. Does he has the 5 Hunting Witch deck, correct?
Maybe. I know he's got that 5 Edi deck.
He does have the 5 Edi deck.
Famous. Yeah.
I thought he had the 5 Hunting Witch deck, which I don't know. Because like 5 Hunting Witches sounds great, but then I'm like, well, yeah, no. I mean, but like, not only that, like, okay, so Hunting Witch typically dies. You know, you got to kill the witch. And then my only other thought to that is like, and I don't know what the rest of the deck is conceived of. But
right.
Like,
well, the thing is with Hunting Witch though is like you don't really hit a point of diminishing returns because even if I draw 5 Hunting Witches, like they stack on each other, right? So there's
they do.
That's a really powerful multiple. Like in jokes, I have 3, like, and that's crazy. I can't imagine having 5. Like you just as long as you have like a key cheat or you have something that you're feeding into, like that's a ton. That's a ton of amber. Like even like think about if you play 4, right? And have any like say Nature's Call or anything like that with it. Like that's even worse, right? Like but you play 4 in a row, it means you're getting 1 and then you're getting 3 and then you're getting 5. Like that's 4 in a row. Like that's 5 amber. Like so you just made what 9 amber? I think I just called out, right? So
I'd have to do the math, but sure.
Well,
I mean, because you're playing 1 and then you're playing
1
2,
and
so
2
you
is
get 1,
for 1, and then 3
you play
is
another
for 2.
one. Yeah.
And then, so that's 3, and then the last one you play is for 3 more. So
it'd be 4.
It would be for 3. And then it'd be 3 plus the 2 plus the 1, right? So it's 6 total.
Right.
We should have asked one of our faithful listeners here to do the math for us.
Do the math.
Well, Z's not here. He's the math guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I blame.
Weirdly
Expert
enough,
does
he's the math guy, but for like the first year of this show, we got math wrong all the time. Just saying. Because you play the 1, and then you play another 1. 1 gets you 2, and then 3 gets you. Or I'm sorry, 2 gets you 1.
You get you 1.
I'm counting on my fingers now, and then 3 gets you another 2, and then
the 4th one will get you 3.
3.
Yeah, so
and then
6.
the 5th, that's 6. But if we have 5 of them,
if you play all 5 at once, that's crazy. Well,
that's
then you get
4, so that's 10.
Yeah, that's 10.
Yeah.
So.
That's bananas. And then you key charge for the win, and you just walk away. Drop the mic. Done. If
you play Nature's Call and just do it again.
And do it all. Well, you can't because rule of 6.
Wow.
Well, you can get a few more.
I guess you can't. Yeah, you can play other creatures though. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can. You sure can.
Your hand would be.
Say, if you have 5 Hunting Witches, there's a really solid chance you don't have many other untamed creatures.
Yeah, there's a very good chance.
There's a very, very good chance, and now you're just hoping they all survive. 5
Hunting Witches in a Chota, you're probably in good shape already. So
you're in very good shape. All 5 Hunting Witches plus a Chota. Man, that's a key charge, or that's a key. And then if you have a key charge, I think you can 2 key it. But
I think they have a term for that kind of deck. It's called the Impossible deck.
Oh, I was gonna go with OTK, but Impossible is more likely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, that we are living in Christmas land there. Man, could you imagine, like, I would really like to see if, like, Keyforge was a game about deck building. What kind of stupid stuff would come out of
Oh,
deck
it'd be
building?
Well,
outrageous.
there'd
Like,
be limits to the decks. If at a 36 card deck, you can't, like, if you're constructing at a 36 card deck level, you're basically saying you can only have max 2 per any card, like, period.
well, and that's why I think Keyforge is cool, because you can have cards that in silly multiples, would be bonkers, but because the algorithm either limits or just keeps you from being able to generate the super combos auto magically, you can be in good shape, right? With as a game. But things like autoencoder, right? You only get one of those, right?
Is that
library
a
access, library
one
card.
of, like, you can only get one autoencoder? That
Yep.
it does
Yep.
limit it?
Yep, it's a common, but there's max of one. So, yeah, if you want multiples, you have to borrow your friends, or your
Can I?
enemies.
Your enemy. I was gonna say, is that even possible?
I mean, if they play one, you play a borrow, right?
Oh yeah, you could borrow your opponent's autoencoder.
Yeah.
I was like, is that even
then you
possible?
discard a
in
card
this set?
archive 2. That gets
Ooh, dig it.
kind of crazy.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, if we were to open this up and to say, like, hey, let's start deck building, right? And then we, even if we do say 2 of, like, I think that could get pretty dicey pretty quick.
I agree.
That's why the key charge only one, right? Most key cheats only one. There's only a few that you can have multiples.
You can have multiple. Well, I don't even know if you can have multiple Night Forges, but I'd be like, you could have multiple Night
can.
Forges.
Yes, I believe you can. I believe that is a thing.
Multiple key abductions, pretty good.
Yep, that's good, right? They probably thought,
This card's not very good. Like, the one limitation I do feel, because I don't know, maybe this is just me. I try the gamer and the card gamer in me and the old school Magic player in me, and maybe Jupiter feels a little bit of this. I often try to break things, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where my head goes to first when I see cards. I try to break them, and then I realize that I can't break them because, well, I can try, but you're looking for Christmas land.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get that, Jupiter, where you're like, I can break this card?
I don't think in Keyforge I get that feeling as much because I can't construct, right? Like, you can't construct it, but you can look for things that are seemingly broken and look for those combos. Like, today I learned a fun one that was interesting. I was playing my adaptive match for Kage, which I am now 4-1 in my group, and I'm done. So, like, and I think I'm in first place because the other person that's like got 1 loss is I beat. So, like, the guy that I lost to has 2 losses now. So I think I'm in a good spot. But he played a deck that had Sauropod or whatever, Saurian Pod, that bad artifact that you play on your opponent's side and, like, they can use. Well, when I got it for the adaptive side, I played it on him and gave it to him, and it comes in tapped, so he has to wait a turn to untap it, right?
Yeah.
So I get my amber for that, but then on my next turn, after he untaps it, I hornswoggled it.
Mm-hmm.
It took the 3 amber, just put creatures on the board, and it was like, whatever, and the next turn just use the board wipe. So, like, it was pretty silly, but, like,
Nice.
that's kind of like one of those, like, how do you break Hornswoggle, or how do you break, like, a bad card? Like, yeah, that's kind of fun, but, like, I think every card in the game has something that could be degenerate, right? Like, I'd rather use the term degenerate than break in Keyforge.
I don't know about every card in the game, but
I'm pretty sure every card has a use in some fashion.
break
Like Sauropod, break Narp.
Yeah. When does Narp ever become good?
I play him, and then I exile him to my opponent's side to stop him from reaping with something that's good.
Oh, tricky.
How's that?
I don't know if that. I don't know if
And then
that
you do that
breaks
with
it,
a
but-
legacy Grommet, right?
I'm just saying it's not broken, but it's something that people wouldn't think of, right? Like, it's
Right,
something that it's like you do it, and then the person goes, "Oh, that's kind of shenanigan." Right, I'm all about those shenanigans. That's why I play so many different decks.
The only problem right now is you're playing Worlds Collide Brobnar. That's a big problem. That might be a little too much to get over.
You might watch what you're saying about Brobnar.
Oh, why?
Because I'm a Brob nerd.
I was a big player of Brobnar, just not in Worlds Collide.
Sure.
Worlds Collide is pretty rough, but you know what? I did see something interesting in Worlds Collide, and this might be just completely like right place, right time. But every time I see a freaking lateral shift in any deck, it's in Brobnar. Like I have seen lateral shift in Brobnar more than any other house in
I'm gonna have to look at that. I've never paid attention to that.
I'm just saying, for me, like I've opened three lateral shifts, and all of them have been Worlds Collide Brobnar.
Interesting.
It was a while ago, and for whatever reason, we were trying to find the deck that had the highest house SAS for Brobnar.
Yep, I remember that.
Brobnar Worlds Collide. Okay, yeah. It was after one of the AC nights, and we all realized after a while, just look for your lateral shifts in Brobnar. That's the highest one. That's gonna be it.
There's a lot of them too.
Yeah.
I never even realized that. I'm gonna look that up right now. I don't think I own any lateral shifts. Never mind. I ain't even gonna look it up because I don't think I own any lateral shifts.
Yeah,
not a single one. So that's always a bummer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're hard to buy on the secondary market for any reasonable price, even if the deck's no good.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's a great card. Like,
is it that hard to find though?
Pretty rare. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, so.
Yeah. Last I checked, there was like less than 1,000 registered of each. That probably changed by now. But
yep, I own no decks with lateral shift. Not a one.
All right, now I got to check now. So how many decks?
Yeah, I don't own any.
Are there with? Oh, there's 1,000 plus.
Oh
with
yeah,
lateral
no, there's
shift
more
now.
than one.
Yeah, there used to be. Less than 1,000. So you used to know the exact number. I'm sure there's still a way to get it, but probably more gymnastics out of decks of Keyforge. But
you gotta play with the numbers. I'm just looking. Yeah, holy.
Actually, speaking of decks of Keyforge and trying to do gymnastics to figure things out, so the one thing you cannot easily do is search generically for multiples. So
what do you mean?
So I just want to see all decks that have at least 5 of the same card. I don't know of a way to search in DOK for that. I can search for where are 5 control the weeks, but I can't just search for show me all the decks with 5.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Right. Or all the decks with 3 uncommons or 2 rares or 3 rares or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be cool. I think those are the numbers, but like I think you need at least to really catch my attention. You need like 4 commons, maybe 3 sometimes if it's the right common. 4 commons will really catch my attention. 3 uncommons and 2 rares seems right. You can have more. You can have like 4 uncommons. Like that is a thing, but that's like super rare.
I'm looking at this deck right now that's got quad stealth modes.
Yep.
Like in theory, that sounds so good, but like the chances of you having them both, having 1 or 2 in your, like saying you have like 2 or 3 in your hand is like so high because your hand size is so big and you're only rocking 36 cards. So like it just becomes
that could be good.
Stealth mode is good in chunks though, like really good. I think
because if you can multiple turns prevent your opponent from playing actions and often Star Alliance is a house you don't mind going again and again, right? Because you've got your Kirby's, right? You've got your Chans,
you got your house cheating, sure.
Yeah. So, you can Helmsman Spears away the rest of your hand and get more Star Alliance back like that. That can be real good. Yeah, now I'm just like scrolling through them. Look at these.
Actually, this deck doesn't look that bad. It's a 76 SAS deck, and it has Brobnar with a lateral shift, believe that or not. And actually, the Brobnar's rated at 25. It's actually rated higher than the Untamed in the deck.
Wow.
It does have 2 Berserker Slams, which I'm sure raises its stock quite high.
Well, the lateral shift raises it.
Well, the lateral shift does it too, but I think Berserker Slam was one of the better Brobnar cards in the set as well.
I agree.
For sure.
Like, I don't remember a lot of other Brobnar cards being... I mean, it does have one of my favorite cards, the Rock Hurling Giant,
Yeah, that's another amazing card. Yeah.
I mean, so if you can get Rock Hurling Giant, you're like, yeah, I'll discard a bunch of Brobnar cards to deal 4 damage.
That's a Brobnar list I would want. Like that already sounds really good. So.
Yeah. Lateral Shift. It's got a Blood Money, so that yeah, it's got a Blood Money. It's got a Volcano, which I think gets a bad rap. I think Volcano's a much better card than people give it credit for.
You're gonna have to fight me on that one. I don't believe it.
You don't
You can have as many volcanoes as you want.
I don't want too many. Like I'm just saying, like maybe one's good. Like I don't want 2.
Yeah.
You don't even want 1?
Nah.
4 damage to everything,
including your
chains.
creatures.
Yeah, those
And
chains.
and you get chains.
and you get
Like the
chains.
ammonia clouds was in Mars was so at 3 damage. But at least it didn't give you chains, right? The chains just like you're already killing your own dudes, right? And then you get chains on top of that. It's just I don't know. That's tough.
The thing about Brobnar is like they're all big creatures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like the idea is like you're using your mass to keep your board control, correct? So if you're using your mass to keep your board control, then Volcano comes in and deals 4 damage to all your creatures. Now they're easily targeted by things that could take out 2 or 3. Right. So that's why Volcano is absolutely like not a good card for Brobnar ever.
Yeah.
I
Like I say,
like
ever.
1 Volcano. I'll take. I can deal with 1 Volcano because a rightly timed Volcano can get rid of some problems. But
Well, I'll say you have some balls.
yep, I do. Volcanoes. Anyways, so I don't know if we want to do an entire episode on this, and maybe we do because I keep again. Okay, so this card deal 4 damage to each creature, gain 2 chains. Like I don't know if it's just me, and we're getting a little off topic here, but like
We're okay.
The chains in this game a lot of the time don't make sense. Like the whole idea of the chains was that like you play this massively powerful card and it slows you down, right? I think that was the idea. I don't think I'm crazy on saying I thought that was the idea.
It's a sort of cost for doing something theoretically good, and
right.
Certain cards, it sort of works. Right, like your Gateway to Dis.
Gateway to Dis, totally think 3 chains is appropriate for it.
Arise for one chain? That's not very...
I was going to say, Arise?
Yeah.
That probably should have been a little few more chains. Is it Effervescent Principle, where everybody cuts their Ember in half and then gain 8, just 1 chain?
Yep.
Like that, and then there's Volcano, which is like, deal 4 to everything. Oh, by the way, here's 2 chains.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the designers were looking at when they were going through that, because it's like some of the cards don't make sense. Like they definitely either should have more chains or not be so powerful. Am I the only one that kind of noticed that as we've gone along? Like gain 2 chains. Why would I gain 2 chains? Like there should be a standardized level of power associated with chains, and it doesn't seem like there was.
No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. I don't think chains make sense hardly ever. Like, because, well, I mean, some make sense, right? Because they're in the right place, but like, there's a lot of cards that have chains that you're just like, why the hell does this have chains?
Why does this give me a chain? Or Rise, I think, definitely should have chains.
And then there's cards that you look at and you go, well, why the hell does this not have chains?
Right. Like, a Rise should probably be like 3 chains. I mean, I guess it depends on the Arise suite too. But
Arise should be printed as Grim Reminder, and it would have been fine.
Okay, fair enough.
Like Grim Reminder's fair because it puts it into the archive, gives you a turn off and stuff. The fact that you bring all your stuff back in, like I don't think there's an amount of chains that I wouldn't pay to have Arise be cast.
Yeah,
because Arise is just that good. Like. It was the thing that broke Dis in Coda, I think. Like it was the thing that like when you go Gateway, and then you took 4 chains for Gateway to a Gateway to Dis to Arise, and nobody ever cried about the 4 chains you got from that because like you win.
Right.
You're probably you're often bringing back more than 4 cards, right? So you make it up right there.
Yeah, if you're playing a Gateway Arise deck, yeah, you're definitely bringing back more than 4 cards.
And you're bringing back things that are tempo like setters, like things like charrettes and things that are basically gonna like drumbles or the restrict the Gundis or whatever.
Your Ember Imps, right?
Yeah, Ember Imps,
which is like, oh, now I just got rid of your board and you can only play 2 cards. So
Yeah.
have fun. Like, I don't know. The chains in here have never, like, the punishment, it seemed like, okay, we set a basis in Coda with, like, what the punishment should be for certain actions, but then we went off the rails somewhere along the way. I don't know where, but...
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, like, I get the balancing act, and I know in playtesting they had reasons, right? They probably played it without chains and said, well, this is too strong. Add. Okay, this is still too strong. Add more. Okay, this is still too strong. Add more, whatever. But, like, there's a lot of cards that seem like they might have, like, Lateral Shift probably should have chains on it.
Like, why did we go...
anomaly. Yeah.
Why did we go, like, Volcano, 4 damage, oh yeah, by the way, and you get chains? Like, why is that a thing?
I think it's because it hurts the board, right? Like it destroys a lot of things on the board. And I think the more targets that you get off of a single card, I think the more they think about chaining. That's why Phosphorus Stars has chains. That's why, like, if you think of things that have chains, they usually affect more than one card. Like, and like they're going to affect multiple cards. And then how bad does it affect it? That's where the level of chain gets set. I believe that's how it works, but I could be wrong.
Now, Gateway. So Gateway's got those 3 chains.
Mm-hmm.
Gateway and multiples is interesting, right? Like, one gateway is great, right? 2 gateways is sometimes great. Yeah. 3? I'm like, I don't know that I want 3.
No.
I'm like, more than that, no way.
I know Z has a deck. I think it either has 3 or 4 gateways.
Mhm.
But, like, it legitimately does not care. And I forget why. But, like,
the other 2 houses probably carry it.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even the other 2 houses. Like, I forget
He probably has
why.
he probably has a Quixel Stone or something, and, like, you use the gateways to clear the board so you can Quixel lock, like something like that. But, like, that's the only time that having that many gateways would be great.
Yeah,
like,
I can't remember why. So if we ever
And
get
it's-
Z back on, I'll have to ask him. I know, and it's just like, yep, doesn't care. It just wants to keep the board clear.
I'm gonna guess it's Quixel Stone.
No, it was a Coda deck. It is a Coda deck.
Was it?
Yeah, it's 100% a Coda deck. I just can't remember why the deck doesn't care, and I actually think it's his wife's deck. So, like, I don't remember, but it was super interesting, and there is a combo behind it, and it's just like, yeah, it just doesn't care about the chains or the board. Like, it wants the board clear and all this other stuff. So, I don't remember why. We'll have to ask Z one day when we talk to him. It might actually, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was a Coward's End. I don't remember. But
I mean, Coward's End, yeah, I mean, that many Coward's End, I don't, unless there's like a, triple loot the bodies situation or something.
I forget what it was. I know there's a card in there. There's a Brobnar card that wants the board clear, and when the board is clear, you get certain perks because of it, and since it puts damage on them, and I don't remember why, but it's kind of
got a whole bunch of Smiths. I don't know, like
it's a weird oblong thing, but he explained it to me, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like that's a super fun deck. So, boys, let's get into this. Drazcore, what you're looking for multiples? What multiples? What multiples are you looking for, bro?
I'm looking for all sorts of fun multiples, right? So I noted a couple here in terms of decks that I've picked up before that have multiple.
I got a bunch of Plague Rat decks you might want.
Well, Plague Rats, right? So there is, right? So there's Plague Rats, which is auto multiples. Plague Rats are fun.
I totally didn't think you were going to go down that route, but okay.
Okay. Plague Rats are fun, though.
You haven't learned that Drazcore goes with the flow? This is how we do our whole show. No script, just go off the cuff.
Yeah, and he's totally like, I'm just like, I got some multiple Plague Rat decks for you if you want some. Yeah, totally want them. Like, what? Really? Yeah. More wolves? You want more wolves, too?
I actually don't own a more wolves deck.
What?
I've almost bought one multiple times, but I never found one that I was like, oh, this is cool.
Start a GoFundMe for Drazcore. Need more wolves.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you.
Decks are cheap.
There's like there's a few cards that I'm looking for personally, like that are in multiples.
Okay.
One is Chronophage, which, by the way, there's no such thing as a triple Chronophage deck. Doesn't exist as of right now. Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I meant. As of right now, it does not exist. Double is the highest I have found.
Okay.
I am looking for double Heart of the Forest decks. Yep, I'm that guy. Totally am. I just got my Heart of the Forest deck that I bought from JM. Was it J? I think it was JM. It was either JM or Joker today. So I can't wait to play it next week in Chainbound. Totally stoked too because it's got a double glimmer in it, and so it's like, oh, you think you destroyed my Heart of the Forest, did you? I'm bringing it back with glimmer.
Good.
I got to kill it again. Now I know Dan's gonna now only be playing what is it? I'm totally blanking on cards right now because I'm just getting back from playing Flesh and Blood and I can't think of any of the cards.
I mean, there's Eaton's Jar, which we should talk about. I don't know if that's the one.
No, it's not Eaton's Jar, but
that's the one that ends this conversation. But
yeah.
Oh yeah, we could leave that to the end. Yeah.
Why does Eaton's Jar end the conversation?
Because Eaton's Jar is already a great. Unless you have multiples of bad cards, then I guess Eaton's Jar doesn't matter. But if your best cards are multiples and Eaton's Jar comes into play, it gets more value the more you have of them, right? Like that's just common sense.
But my question is, can you get multiple Eaton's Jars?
No,
you can get one.
No, you can only get
only
one.
one.
But the best Eaton Jars decks have ways to bounce the Eaton's Jar or to bring it back to their hand so that they can replay it on different things as the game goes on. So after you discard like what it is that they Eaton's Jarred, then they switch up the Eaton's Jar and can put it on something else. Because
it's reclaimed by nature, by the way. I just thought it reclaimed by nature because he wants to make sure that my artifacts are purged. Thanks, Dan. Ruining all my fun.
That's the best artifact removal in the game.
Oh yeah, 110%. Like, I don't even know one that's better except for
Poltergeist is the only one close.
I was gonna say actually, nope. Poltergeist is no, you're right. There's who's the guy who borrows artifacts in Coda? Snecklifter. I was gonna say Snecklifter, but
he's pretty good.
He's good. It's different, right? I think there's certain artifacts where you'd prefer a Snecklifter or a Bardo, but if you just want to protect your own game plan, then you probably want the Reclaim by Nature or the Poltergeist or something like that.
Yeah, I used to put Snecklifter as my number 3, but then Mollymock came along, and Mollymock is pretty stout. A 5 power body with an artifact kill is pretty good, and then it's in a house that has a lot of recursion for it, so like. It's like a great way to have multiple ways to kill artifacts with one creature. So that's pretty good. Not better than Poltergeist, definitely not better than Reclaimed, but pretty solid.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I totally cut you off, Draskor, and I didn't mean to.
What was I even talking about?
I don't even remember now.
I want to go back to the Plague Rat thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were gonna start a GoFundMe to get you a Moorwolf deck, or maybe it was a Plague Rat deck. I'm not sure. One of the two.
Maybe both.
So
if everybody donates a penny, we'll get there by like tomorrow.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna just go look because I'm sending you a package already. I might just send. Send
me a Moorwolf deck. There you go. Throw it in there. I'll play it. It could be junky. I'll play it.
I don't even know what I have for Moorwolves. I'm positive I have a Moorwolf deck. Like, there's no way I don't. Yes, I have many. Here you go. 75 cents Moorwolf deck right here. It's yours.
You can always send Draskor extra decks for his daughters too.
Oh,
they like that.
Dang! I just realized I have a Moorwolf deck. It also has a quad imprinted Murmook.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Nice.
Yeah,
that was like I had a deck that had quad imprinted Murmook with a Mimic. So like I could have 5, and I was actually forging keys for 1. I think Draz remembers. I used to tell him about it.
Mm-hmm. I remember this. Yeah. You were showing me this deck. Yep.
I sold it. It was.
I actually don't even know why this deck's that bad. Why is it only a 68?
Because the Murmooks aren't as good as you think they are.
Oh, they're great. It has a Mustic Murmook too.
Yeah.
It's got a Rustnar. Sorry. Actually, Rustnar's not half bad anymore. Eating artifacts.
But he has to fight and survive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't understand why they did that. A lot of the times where it's like fight, they have to survive. I think you should get it still if they don't survive. Just let it go.
That'd make a lot of cards a lot better.
Yeah, it would make 100% of cards a lot better. It would change the meta completely. So that's what I feel. But what else are you looking for? So I'm getting you a Moorwolf deck. Okay, so now you don't need a Moorwolf. Let's look up Plague Rats. I'm almost positive I sold a Plague Rat deck.
I have a good Plague Rats deck I like. Though it actually only has 3 Plague Rats, but I do really like the deck. It's got the 3 Plague Rats, and it's got the Iron Obelisk with the Ganger Knot, and it's kind of fun.
I almost want to send you this one. How many does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is a 7 Plague Rat deck.
Nice.
That's just a board wipe right there.
It's quality.
That's got to be a board wipe for most boards, right? It's got to be a board wipe.
Often, yeah.
It is a whopping 50 sass.
Okay.
It's 47
So
base arc.
It's pretty sweet, sounds like.
Yeah. All my Plague Rats decks are in the bottom ranking, 58, 57, 50. Actually, they might be good reversal decks. Who knows? I have no idea. But what do you look? I'm sorry. We're way off base here. Holy crap. What are you looking for here, Dresco?
All right, so there's a couple ones that I've bought in the past because they've had multiples, right? So I bought a double Ritual of Tognath deck that also has an Avernus. That's a ton of fun. 3+ daughters can be quite good, or 3+ mothers. I've got a double, I guess a double, a Skyla Charbitus deck, so it's got 2 of each. That's a lot of fun. Got a double Lord Invidious deck that's fun. There's
I didn't
just
know
a ton
double
of
leader was a thing.
Yeah.
I thought you could only get 1 leader per.
No,
Never
you
mind.
can definitely.
You
Yeah,
can definitely
that's
get
not a
double
limit.
leaders, huh?
So yeah, you can get double Lord Invidious. That's a fun deck for sure.
I
Double Val
suppose
Jericho.
because I
Yeah.
own a double Val Jericho deck, so I don't know why I didn't think that was a thing. I'm just stupid. Don't listen to me.
Yeah,
Moving on.
I bought a triple Bren the Fanatic, triple Jackie Tar deck. So it's
You have the most eclectic taste in decks that I think
It's
I've
fun.
ever met in one person.
That's what Drascore does, though.
I know. It's
about
just
the
it's
spice.
so like you're just like randomness. And
Nope.
you're just running around. Like I'm surprised 9 times out of 10 you have pants on. So
But but you know what? It's like that's why he's really good at playing sealed.
because
It does
plays
help to
jank.
try to
He has
play the weird
experience.
stuff.
He has experience with all the weird stuff. So when he gets a sealed deck and he looks at it, everybody else is like, "Oh, that's garbage." He's like, "No, I can see cool things. Look."
Yeah. So that's why you're so good at seal because you play a lot of jank.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yes.
should play more jank.
I think we should call you Jank, the king of Jank. That
The
should be your
king
name.
of Keyforge jank. I need to start playing more jank. In fact, I played AOA this week. Everybody's gonna be proud of me. We did sealed for the Pink Bunny games this week. I played AOA, just not flexing or nothing. It went horrible. I went 0-4.
Nice.
My deck was not very good. Not gonna lie.
I earned my Gruin just by paying to be there.
Hey, as long as you're getting your Gruin, man. So if you guys aren't aware, every Wednesday we do the Pink Bunny Games sealed events. And John has been nice enough to kind of he set up his own prize wall, right? So
Yeah.
he's got
It's nice.
yeah, he's got access to, I think, I'm not sure, so don't quote me if this is going up there, but I'm almost positive it was a 2020, was it a Grand Championship kit?
think so.
Yeah,
I
so
think so.
if you join the Discord and you go into the Pink Bunny section, you can look in there. I know he got his hands on a bunch, well, actually maybe I shouldn't say a bunch, a few Gruins. So that's what everybody's kind of grinding towards right now, is getting their Gruins.
I'm pretty sure Joel earned his this past Wednesday too. So there's 2 Gruins
Nice.
down.
Nice.
So
Yeah, he took a picture at one point of a box, and a cardboard box, and inside that cardboard box was just a jumble of Gruins, and it was a pretty cool picture.
So, if you're interested in that, is sealed is every Tuesday and Wednesday, I should say. Wednesday is the Pink Bunny sealed. Tuesday is the regular sealed. I've been getting a lot of enjoyment out of sealed lately. Just, it's scratching that fix I need. You know what I mean? To I want to open a bunch of decks. Oh, I can open one every week. You know what I mean? And Pay a little bit of money, you get to open. Maybe you open something stupid. Maybe you don't. More times than not, you won't. But, I've always enjoyed Sealed more than I enjoy Archon. Archon's a whole different degenerate mess. I don't even know what to call it. But Archon's kind of just became this weird, degenerate mess where Sealed, I really like Sealed. I feel Sealed. I've always felt Sealed levels the playing field. Yeah, you're not going to always get something that's awesome.
Sure.
But
You can't always get what you need.
right. But more times than not, you should have some fun. So, I mean, I went 0-4. I still had some fun. I still did a whole bunch of stupid things that I would have never, what was one of the really dumb things I did? I'm going to go look at the deck right now. We're going to open it up.
Is there multiples in it, by the way?
Let's find out. Age of Ascension. It's this one. Let's see. It's got a double golden aura. Hey.
Okay.
Double call
Golden
the week.
Aura's all right.
Double call the week.
Okay.
And I played this one. So this is double smite.
All right. I mean, those are not the worst cards in your deck.
I mean, honestly, I have been playing. I don't even look at the deck list.
Okay, your own. You don't even look at your own.
Don't even look at my own deck list. I literally go, give me a deck. I plug it in, and as it comes out, I played. I learned after game 1, because it does have a Soul Snatcher. That's not the card to play in this deck, because it wants to kill some stuff, and it wants to kill a lot of things. So giving your opponent Ember, not always the greatest idea. It's got a proc, but what did I do? I did some stupid Sanctum shenanigans. It's got so I mind-wormed, right? I went into Sanctum, I played my Golden Aura, making my mind-worm a Sanctum card, right? And he can't be dealt damage. Nice. So then I played Smite on him. Well, I could fight with him. So I dealt and it was into 2. What's the big dude from that does absolutely nothing from Dark Tidings?
The big dude.
He's a taunter. He's an unfathomable. He's like a 7-power creature.
You talking about the toad?
Oh,
is it a toad?
No. The
it's. I know what you're talking about. It's the toad. He's like a big fat toad sucking cocoa.
Yeah,
cocoa.
Yeah. Right. So then,
he's all right.
Because of Mindworm, right? Mm-hmm. He deals basically. He had 3 Cocoas all lined up. So I attacked into him, and then he dealt, the creature Mindward fight deals damage equal to its power to its neighbor. So it dealt 7.
Nice.
So then I smited, which allowed me to ready and fight with him again. So then it dealt 2 damage to the neighbors, plus whatever, plus Cocoa. Then I smited again, which is that's just stupid. That's dumb. And then I think I even Grey Ridered the Mindworm to be able to do it again.
How did your Mindworm survive?
Because of the golden aura, he can't be dealt damage.
Oh, you aured. Okay, gotcha. I missed the aura.
Yeah, he can't be dealt damage. So
that's great.
It's just stupid.
I think Golden Aura is a very underrated card, though. I've said that before to Drascore too when we talk about it. That card is really, really sneaky good because of the utility that it provides for a lot of creatures, and it brings a creature from non-Sanctum into Sanctum. So people miss that part too.
Yeah,
so
it's house cheaty.
It's pretty good.
It makes him a Sanctum creature. So I don't know. This is just something I literally, because like I said, I'm not even looking at deck lists anymore. Because it doesn't matter, right? It really depends on the play, because we're all in Sealed. We're all playing decks we're unfamiliar with. Let's just shuffle up and have some fun. That's about it.
It's fun to do that. You can definitely increase your win rate if you carefully look at your deck in advance.
You can. I think you greatly increase your fun rate if you just go, I'm not looking. Whatever I get, and I just deal with it, and I play it hand by hand. Mm-hmm. And this is the knowledge I have.
Yeah, I can see the appeal of that. I wouldn't want to do that all the time, but sometimes, yeah, I can see that being fun.
It spices it up.
My fun rate is increased anytime I play Cloggin, because he refuses to reap, and all he wants to do is fight, so it's always entertaining. Those games are fun.
My fun rate is increased by playing Cloggin and not fighting and just not interacting with his board whatsoever because it pisses him off to such a degree that I think it's totally worth it. Like he's just like, fine, I can see it. You just can see this. I'm just like, come on, man. It's not that like. It's just it gets to the point where he's like, I'm done. Like you're not fighting. It's like because I don't have to fight. Number one, number two, I know it pisses you off at this point. So now I'm just not gonna interact with you whatsoever and play solitaire.
So what we learned tonight is that Wookiees are trolls.
100. Like that's where I am. I've already explained this. This is where I am with Keyforge. I want the bring me your degenerates. You're unloved, right? Like I want to play. To make your life a living hell. No. I am a mono blue player at heart. Okay? I've always played mono blue, and now I'm bringing it to Keyforge, baby. And nice. Here we go. I want to just make your experience the worst it possibly can be.
Yeah, I think I told you guys this before. I don't know if I ever said it on a cast, but there are days like when I'm having like a just a bummer day or whatever, and I'm just like and it's like I need to be entertained, so I'll come in and I'll play like my deck's like jokes or whatever, like my top net jokes, and then people start rage quitting on me because of whatever reason, and I sit here and I just laugh at them for it and whatever, and my fiance will always be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just beating people really like in really bad ways that they don't even finish the game." Like the other day, I was doing McCain on my stream. And McCain was like getting to positions or whatever. No, it wasn't McCain. It was Giantess, my Genka Brig deck. And I was playing that. And it's like, I never get to finish the games I'm winning because people just quit before I get to do anything. It's like
I just wish we had more live play. I just wish we had more live play so I could, like, the only thing that would make it better is to see people's reactions.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could webcam it. Like you could get.
I could, but I don't think anybody else would webcam with me. You know what I mean?
Do it.
Cloggin probably would do it, but like,
I would webcam with you, but I wouldn't do that. So
no.
Yeah, I want to be. That's how I want to play now. Because I don't know.
Well, now
that's just where I'm
just
at.
This discussion. Now I'm looking at double Pester Grove decks. There's only 3 for sale.
Heartstrings, sir. You're tugging at my heartstrings. Double Pester Grove, you say?
There's only 3 for sale. So,
like Pester Grove, like I've ever since Worlds Collide, like I decided to like try to find the most degenerate card and set and make it work. Like DT, I think the most degenerate card might be Chronophage.
I think it's Whirlpool.
You think it's Whirlpool?
Oh, Whirlpool pisses
in the right situation. Yeah.
I like. Oh yeah.
I need a good Whirlpool. Let me look for some Whirlpool decks.
Yeah.
Oh boy, hike up your Whirlpool.
Oh, you can't have 2 of them. That's interesting.
No, you
can't. Hold on.
There are one.
No, you can. It's just none for sale. Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can get 2 Whirlpools.
I got a new mission in life.
Yep.
There's 39 of them in existence.
This is where I'm drawing Keyforge. My fun from Keyforge right now is like, and as silly as that sounds, like I've tried to break Chronophage. I haven't really figured out how to break them yet. Just because like I thought a turn 1 Chronophage would really do it. Turns out not so much. Because there's a lot of direct damage and stuff in DT that just makes it go. You're not even just DT. A lot of it's a 3-power creature, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and there's
not a lot of 3-power. Yeah. 3 powers, and he's just gone. So
the funnest deck I've recently pulled in sealed was Emperor ZP Griggs. It's my lowest SAS deck now because I'm definitely keeping it. It's a 67 SAS, but it's got 16 raw amber, but it has 7 artifacts, right? With Whirlpool included, and every annoying artifact that you could have in Dark Tidings is in it. Like it literally has Miasma Bomb, Seeker Needle, Widespread Corruption, Static Collection Array, the Ubric device, Echo Pearl, and Whirlpool, and then I have a Burrow and a Hornswoggle as well. So I feel like I'm playing. Yeah, I just feel like I'm playing like StarCraft meme. Like your artifacts are mine.
Love it. But we're running out of time, guys. We are, we're actually right. We're at the hour mark. Let's move into some final thoughts. What do you got for us, Drascore?
I just think multiples are fun, right? And I've definitely bought some fun decks with multiples. I've bought decks that I thought were going to be cool because they had the multiples, turned out to be bad. But I don't know. It always makes for an interesting experience. So I'm going to keep noticing them when I see them when I open or just shopping around.
Jupiter.
I'm going to say that I'm giving away multiple spots for the KFPL to a lot of the leagues that are out there nowadays. So make sure that you're playing Keyforge. Go to those leagues, join those leagues. Those are counting as free to plays. Like they're free to plays to get your spots in the KFPL. So keep an eye out for that. But multiples are fun and playing Keyforge is fun. So do all that, get in the KFPL and compete.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
yeah,
guys.
ADR signups close soon, and you can get slots for KFPL through it.
You can.
4 spots.
Make sure you guys are following us all on Twitter. We're at Archons Corner, also on Facebook and YouTube. You can find all that fun stuff there. If you guys want some decks, we're going to be having a new tier going up on the Patreon soon. I haven't quite decided what to do with it, so keep an eye on the Patreon. As always, you can listen ad-free over on the Patreon for the $5 or more tier. Did I get anything? I think I got everything, so... With that being said, we'll see y'all next week.
ドキドキですヒートアイランド飛び飛びで燃えるよしでぼちぼちね玉ねぎで誘うこっちこっちへヒートアップで通りそう街中すべて乗り込むめっちゃ借りもんだってシャーごちゃごちゃフラスやIt's gotta be the shoes, gotta be the furs That's why ladies choose me All up in the news cause we so cute